Our historical baseball batting average is skewed by hidden biases. Imagine trying to compare players from different times in baseball history and wondering if their batting averages tell the full story. It turns out many factors can influence these numbers beyond just hitting skill. Batting average is a simple statistic that measures how often a player gets a hit. You find it by dividing the total hits by the total at-bats and then rounding to 3 decimal places. This has been the main way to judge hitters for a long time. But the way batting average was calculated has not always been consistent. In the 1860s and 1870s, some statisticians used the number of games played instead of at-bats as the denominator. This meant that a player's average could be skewed because it didn't account for how many times they actually came up to bat in each game. By the mid-1870s, the standard shifted to using at-bats as the denominator, making the numbers more reliable. Still, there were quirks. For example, in 1887, walks were counted as hits for one season, which inflated batting averages. The following year, walks were no longer counted as hits, and records were updated accordingly. These changes meant that a player could appear to have a higher or lower batting average depending on the rules in place at the time. Another bias comes from the minimum number of at-bats needed to qualify for the batting title. If a player didn't meet that threshold, some leagues added hypothetical hitless at-bats to their total, which could lower their batting average. This rule was used in the American League from 1936 to 1956, and in the National League from 1951 to 1954. Beyond calculation methods, the game itself has changed over the years. The league's makeup shifted with the integration of players from different backgrounds, and equipment, training, and pitching strategies evolved. These changes can make it harder to compare batting averages across eras directly. A .300 hitter in the 1920s might not be comparable to a .300 hitter today because of these differences. Modern analysts often look at additional stats like on-base percentage and slugging percentage to get a clearer picture of a player's hitting ability. These stats help account for walks, power, and other factors that batting average alone might miss. In the end, historical batting averages can be influenced by how they were calculated, league rules, and broader changes in the game. Recognizing these biases helps us understand that comparing players from different times isn't always straightforward. It reminds us to look at the bigger picture when evaluating batting success across baseball history.